You know, in the wake of the Newtown, Connecticut tragedy, where 20 children were shot to death, there's been a lot of talk in state houses across the country. But what's going to happen with gun control? We know at the federal level, the Obama administration this week is going to be receiving recommendations from a task force led by Vice President Joe Biden about what to do about gun control. So what's going to happen here in New Hampshire? The answer is not a lot, I don't believe. Gun owners are a very strong lobby in this state. We have a high percentage of folks who are members of the National Rifle Association. We have a very high percentage of veterans who are also gun owners as well. Gun control legislation has not done very well here in the past. It certainly didn't advance in any manifest way during all 8 years of Governor John Lynch's administration, even though he's a Democrat. He certainly supported law enforcement and fought expansion of gun rights, but he didn't propose any gun control. There's very modest attempts to do that this year. The most significant one really will be repealing the so-called Stand Your Ground law, which essentially right now, the Republican-led legislature passed this along the lines of the Florida law that allows the public allows members of the public out in public to essentially use deadly force to respond to an attack against them. Prior to this principle, you could defend yourself with deadly force in your home and on your property. But outside your property, you had to first try to retreat before you could use force. And if you couldn't retreat, you then could use force. This changes that dynamic, allows people to use deadly force. Governor John Lynch vetoed this bill. The Republican-led legislature overrode the veto. House Majority Leader Steve Shurtleff has proposed legislation to repeal that Stand Your Ground principle. I think he probably could have some success doing that in the House of Representatives, but certainly in the state Senate, it's a very difficult proposition. And I think it's going to be very difficult for him to achieve. That's the biggest piece of legislation as far as gun control that's been proposed. There are proposals to require firearm safety education to occur before someone possesses a gun. That kind of legislation in the past hasn't gone very far. I find it very difficult to believe the state Senate would support something like that. There are some attempts to expand gun owner rights. I don't think they're going to succeed as well, to try and make New Hampshire one of only 4 states that has no permit to carry a concealed weapon. J.R. Hole, Dunbarton Republican, very strong supporter of gun rights, is sponsoring that bill. Don't expect it to pass this House this year. I think it's very much the status quo on guns, which shouldn't be a surprise, given we're a libertarian state, a very personal freedom state, and a very pro-Second Amendment state.